All right, welcome, Buddy Book Club. I'm Dylan here with my number one option, Keith. What's up, buddy?
Are you wearing body armor today, or after the last podcast, you might? I'm just checking for no reason, but you know.
I put on some Axe body spray, so I hope that's equivalent. We also have a special guest, Jimmy. I don't know what your call sign is.
Ooh.
You know, that's probably what we have to set up here before we go. Or, you know, you can just go with Jimmy, like Bob from Top Gun Maverick.
I actually want to be called the lawyer in honor of just going by the most obvious nickname, the professor. You know, I think that's important when you're a secret spy agent to have something that's going to easily identify you if anyone can put two and two together. So, yeah.
Well, today, in honor of spring breaking out here on the East Coast and Vinnie Flynn's birthday being right around the corner, which is April 6th.
Jimmy's birthday, too.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy's birthday. Here we go. We're going back to the Mitch Rapwell, this time with the third option. If you'd like to reach out to us regarding this book or any past episodes or future episodes, you can visit our website, buddybookclub.com, slide into our DMs on Twitter or Instagram, Buddy Book Club Podcast. You can listen to us on iTunes and Spotify, so please download and subscribe. Vince Flynn wrote 4 books in 4 years. Pretty incredible. We talked about that on the last time we did Transfer of Power, the first Mitch Rapp book of this particular series. You know, there's prequels kind of stuff. You know, it starts getting weird like the Star Wars universe. But we're going to stick with how he wrote them in order. Transfer of Power, third option, and then Separation of Power, which we haven't got to yet, but maybe in the future. Let's jump right into it with some stock up, stock down. Jimmy, as a guest, got to let you start. What do you got for stock up?
I have Saddam Hussein leading it off on the stock up.
Beautiful.
I mean, you had the real world Saddam Hussein, honestly, kind of a letdown. But in this world, we have a guy who just pulled off the most insane takeover of the White House. And did we go to war? No, we didn't. We didn't do anything. He's back again. He's still out there basically plotting to destroy the United States, and we're just letting it happen. All I know is in the real world, he didn't even do anything, and we went over in Iraq and took him out. So this is probably the best Saddam Hussein version there's ever been in the world. He envisioned that this guy was basically the Lex Luthor of the world. Like, this guy is just taking over everything. He's the next Hitler. He's coming from the US, and he's not going to stop until he gets it. In real life, he had, a little lemon cake powder or whatever it was, and we took him out. So I'm just saying, I like this version of Saddam Hussein better.
I respect it. My only caveat there is the best version of Saddam Hussein is definitely South Park, bigger, longer, uncut, in my opinion.
That's fair, too.
Yeah. Hey, Satan. Well, I like how this book being the third option, the first option being diplomacy, the second option being like large military involvement, the third option being covert military involvement. You would think if Saddam orchestrated this attack on the White House and that left the White House in ruins and presumably the country, we would probably just settle for the second option. I don't think we'd just go straight to the third. So, but you know, Vinnie Flynn had to involve Mitch Rapp, and Mitch Rapp is not part of option 2. He's not a grunt. You know what I mean? He's always option 3. Keith, what do you have for stock up?
Stock up, having kinks.
Go on.
Yeah, we don't
like kinks in your neck or
No, we don't yuck anyone's yum here at the BBC. We're known for that. We have a strong track record. But can you talk about the cab driver for a second here?
Okay.
So Mitch gets in the cab, right? And he calls the dispatcher. He's like, I'm going on this long trip. Then Mitch pulls out a gun and he's like, actually, we're going to a different city. Seems like the real move, first off, would have just been like, hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you just take me to this other city and don't call it in. And be like, all right, deal. Like, yeah, it sounds good. But if Mitch finds out this guy's like super anti-police, he's like on his side, essentially. Mm-hmm. And Mitch makes a deal with him, cuts a deal with him. He's like, all right, I'm going to pay you a little extra, but then I'm going to get to strap you to this bed and gag you. And, you know, they'll find you the next day. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay. So I'm like, oh, all right. So he's probably doing that in the morning. Like the cleaning lady's going to come in and like check the room, whatever. No, he does it. And he's like, all right, now that's done. I'm going to take a shower and go get some lunch. He keeps him there for a full day, gagged and tied to the bed. Wait, what? Who would ever agree to this? And how much money are you getting paid to do this? What I really think went down was Mitch got there and he's like, all right, I'll let you out. And he's like, no. I think you should strap me to the bed. I might tell people. And he's like, pardon? He's like, yeah. Just keep me to the bed. And he's like, all right, well, how much do you want me to pay extra for this? He's like, oh, I was going to pay you. Wait, what? Like, that's really what's going down. This whole time, this cab driver is really into this, and he wanted to be something bad. This might be a little far-fetched, but I'm a little crazy. Anyways, stock up, kinks.
I think this is some projecting, perhaps. You hadn't, had an experience with Mitch Rapp in a year or 2 years, and you start reading it, and you're wishing Mitch Rapp had the muzzle of his 9mm Beretta. There's 14 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. Oh, sorry, I'm doing a little Vince Flynn there. But yeah, you just wanted to get involved, and you were jealous.
Can you explain to me why he would need to be strapped to the bed and gagged, and not in the morning, but literally for a full day and night?
Yeah, that seems excessive. Maybe because Mitch wanted the cab guy to have an out, so they knew he wasn't involved. And if he was strapped to the bed for a couple hours, it'd be like, maybe not. But if he's strapped to the bed and has a bunch of shit in his pants,
that's what I was gonna say.
Then he's definitely not involved, because no one's gonna shit themselves voluntarily.
But where is he hiding the money?
What money? What are you talking about?
Vince paid him extra to go along with his ploy. And how much would you have to get paid for someone to be like, I'm gonna strap you, and then he has to gag him the whole day?
It's literally better than dying, though, I think. A little bit, he
wasn't going to kill him.
He was definitely going to kill him. What are you talking about?
No, Mitch doesn't kill innocent
bystanders. First of all, how many unpleasant experiences have you had in a cab? I'm already ready to kill all cab drivers, and that's just based on nothing.
That's fair.
He's like, this guy might out me. I basically have to make sure this guy doesn't say anything. So I'm not trusting that cab driver at all. You don't give him the exact directions to the airport. He's leading you on a 10-hour, now the fare's $10,000 stuff. This is Mitch just I'm going to save money actually by paying him to do exactly what I need.
Smart, actually. Prudent.
I still think the kinks thing is more realistic.
Yeah, sure. I have a great therapist for you, by the way. We can talk after.
There's nothing wrong with it. I literally opened with that. Basically defense of myself right away.
What's your safe word, Keith?
Salamander. We all know that, kid. You like how I had that ready to go?
Yeah, you did have that ready to go. Scary. My first stock up is water skiing. Anna Riley. Oh, actually, I want to talk about this quickly. Was it Anna Riley in your mind, or was it Anna Reilly?
Riley.
Yeah, so...
What is it? Which one is it?
Jimmy, what did you have?
I'm a big audiobook guy because I get those for free with the credit card every month. And so when they said really, I just took it. I don't know how anything's spelled. I just go off what they say. I mean, I was the kind of guy that in elementary school, I thought Hermione was Hermione. And so I have no idea how names are pronounced at all. So
I thought it was Hermione.
I thought it was Quick Ditch the whole time, which I think is a way better name.
Quick Ditch.
That is a way better name, right?
I read Transfer of Power. It was always Anna Riley in my mind. And then this book, the audio person, whatever, the narrator, is saying Anna Reilly. And I was just confused because I've never met anyone with the name Riley. I've met a lot of Rileys. So I'm sticking with Riley. So Anna Riley, water skier, very fit, doesn't really do a ton of working out except for this water skiing that she loves so much. She says it keeps you fit, works your muscles and your mind. I am also a proponent of water skiing. Not so much the mind, but you toss a couple of beers back and you go water skiing. Not much beats that. I'm just glad that Anna, Mitch, myself, we're all in on it. And Keith, I know that, with your kinks going on, imagine if you got on a boat with Mitch Rapp and Anna Riley and we're going water skiing. God. Come on. What else do you need in life?
Talk about jet propulsion, you know what I mean? Something.
I don't think they have a jet boat, but maybe.
I like how Jimmy goes Saddam saying, I go kinks. You're like, I like water skiing.
I like turtles.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what else do you have for stock up?
So my second stock up is retiring on top. And now I actually went back and forth on this one because I was like, look, you just got done basically saving the White House, saving the president. There's no better feeling in the world. You can go out on top and you're basically the man and you can feel good about yourself. But you know what? My boy Mitch, he doubles down. He says, I'm going to pull a John Elway and I'm going to run it back a second time. And that's dangerous. You do Tom Brady, then all of a sudden you're losing millions of dollars on crypto and you're getting a divorce. That's the downside of running it back. But Mitch is a gambler. And he says, I want that John Elway legacy. He runs it back, and he succeeds a second time. And then he basically gets the Godfather offer at the end of the book, which is you can get this desk job. We'll give you the money bags, all you want. easy cush retirement, and he's like, I have to take this. And so he just crushed it. And then that's the big risk. You have Stansfield, who's essentially working until he dies. But Mitch, he's retired. How old is he? 40?
No, I think they said he was, because it made me feel terrible. I think he said he
Yeah.
was 35 or something like that. So I was like, oh, cool.
He's coasting in this cush job for the rest of his life and basically just had 2 back-to-back Super Bowl championships.
I feel like it was kind of like the CIA, pulling his 5th-year option with that. It was either you're going to live out your life kind of in the shadows still, or we'll give you a clean slate. You have this new identity. It's legit, but you have to come back and work from us and sit at a desk and get fat. He's like, well, fuck, I guess, I understand there's definitely positives to the gig, and now him and Anna can go water skiing whenever they want. But at the same time, it wasn't it wasn't an ideal deal for me. It could have been sweeter.
What would be sweeter?
Private island. Just give me a private island. Give me a private plane. Clone Anna, because I want 2 of them.
Twins, Basil.
Yeah, the CIA can do that.
That's actually a great point, that basically the president and Stansfield are just ambushing him in the office where he doesn't have an agent. He has no representation. They're throwing out terms, and he's just like, I don't know what to do. And this is actually shout out to my boy Lamar Jackson. No idea what he's doing right now. Get an agent in here, negotiate those terms. I think a private island probably could have happened.
Yeah, and Stanfield's his boy. It's like his father figure. And Mitch is like, I don't really want to do this job. And Stanfield's like, I'm dying of cancer. He's like, okay. It's like, I don't really want to do this. My legacy will be tarnished. I'm dying of cancer. I'm going to die tomorrow. It's like, fine. Okay, I'll do it. Stop twisting my arm.
Also, stock up morphine. Stanfield riding high on that. Great negotiator. Still making those deals. Well done.
Yeah, actually, that's a great stock up, because if I had no idea what morphine was, I'd be like, cool. So you just like, it slurs your words. Like, that's it. You can still lead the CIA and no one has any problems with that. Yeah. People out here like concerned about a woman president because like she menstruates once a month, but the CIA director can be on morphine drip 24/7 and it's no problem at all. Like, what is happening?
Won't reveal any secrets. Cool. Nothing like that. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Keith, what else do you have for stock up?
Stock up, going on the run, and petty cash. So Mitch needs to go on the run after getting, shot in the back or whatever. And that usually entails slumming it and changing your hairdo and like doing all this shit. No. He's flying first class. He's crushing 6-packs at an island resort. Mm-hmm. He's getting good night's sleeps. And he has all this just cash he's throwing around. It's just like, I'm like, where is he getting this much money? Literally paying off everyone. He's flying, like I said, first class, doing all these things. He's fulfilling cab drivers' sexual fantasies. He's doing all this stuff with the money he has. I mean, it sounded awesome to be on the run.
Yeah, the lamb ain't too bad. It's like being in the clink in Goodfellas or something like that. You get, you get all the perks. But that's just stock up to just proper planning, because it seems like no one else has this planning done. Whether it be the frog or the professor or whoever the case is. They don't have all these safe house. They don't have these safety deposit boxes. Mm-hmm. They don't got secret cars all over the place. Like, he's got this whole thing planned out. His bug outs have bug outs. So I would just personally, I want to see the Nat Geo episode of Doomsday Preppers featuring Mitch Rapp and Anna Reilly, because I think that would be the most compelling of any Doomsday Prepper episode. My next stock up is the phrase "getting caught with your pants down." So it's a phrase we all know, but where did it come from? It doesn't really make any sense. Like, no one is actually, maybe an adulterer, I guess, but no one's really getting caught with their pants down until the CIA agent who's supposed to be protecting Stansfield, he does a terrible job. Mitch clocks him in the face, and then what does he do? Pulls his pants down. Why? To prove that the phrase actually has a real meaning. So, Mitch, I appreciate your help there, because normally I would just say, this is just something that someone made up. But no, it isn't. It happened. And somehow that guy got his job back. I have no idea. I thought he'd be, swimming with the fishes, as they say. But no, Stansfield, maybe in his morphine haze, he just said, I don't really care. Let him stay. So, yeah, it's totally fine. Totally fine. But yeah, getting caught with your pants down, I'm a big fan now. I'm going to use it all the time.
I have one more stock up. Third options, stock up.
Okay.
I think Michael Scott said it best. Win, lose, lose, win, 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 win. The third option's always the best option, right? None of this stuff's going to make any sense, but like in 21, the GOAT thing playing where there's 3 options.
Yep.
I don't think that really applies, but I'm going to do that. Or if you go to like a soft serve place, you get chocolate, vanilla, or swirl. Swirl's the best option. The third option is the best option.
That's
or
a
like
great
tacos, chicken, beef, a medley of them. Third option. Bang, hit that. Luke, Leia, Han. Third option. Han's all day. Even our boy Matthew McConaughey would agree. Third option is best. You got red light, yellow light, and then you got Dylan. Say it with me. Green lights. Third option all day. Third option stock up.
Was that a Buddy Book Club book? The Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're
boy.
goddamn right.
Have you read that one, Jimmy?
I haven't. I got to put it on the list. I think I'm up to four or five Buddy Book Club recommendations so far.
You have to do the audiobook.
Yeah, as an audiobook fan, it's number one. I mean, you could just sit on a beach and listen to that with a cold Corona, and you're in the right. Maybe a funnel so you can pee into it secretly.
I'm actually drinking a Pacifico right now, so.
Perfect.
There you
Now
go.
you're halfway there, or maybe you're a third of the way there. Third option. Okay, Jimmy, what do you got for stock down?
So first stock down I have is being in a relationship when you're like at the top of your game, assassin type stuff.
Okay.
Very specific. What a stock.
A lot of the listeners out there are excited. They're like, yes, this applies to me. Go on.
I'm just saying, we've been here before where you have like Spider-Man. He's like, sorry, Mary Jane, like it's just too big a risk. I can't like go out with you. Like my enemies will always
That's a
happen.
good point.
And like, my boy Mitch, he has to know this. He has to know she's basically a risk. Like any single time they're going to target her, and sure enough, they do. And not to mention, he has this apparently stunning Italian assassin where he can't go to Italy even because they're just gonna have sex the entire time. He says that. He's like, ooh, Italy's very close to France or wherever they are, Germany. I can take a little trip down there and I have a place to stay with my girl Donatella, but ooh, we're just not gonna stop having sex. That's literally what he says. So
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
yeah, Anna really, she seems pretty cool, grab a beer type of girl, like all that, but like, is she worth basically being a liability? No. What are you doing, Mitch? She's like, oh, I'm giving up the game because of her. Like, no, I'm not buying it. I'm going Donatella all day.
I just love how Mitch is so obsessed with Anna. Like, I want to start a life with her. We're going to have children. I can't wait to ask her to marry me. It's going to be amazing. We're so deeply in love. But no way I'm going to Italy because I might bone this other chick. It's like, what? Pardon me? Like,
And do tons of illicit drugs. That's like all she did. And she's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, right?
pardon
Donatella?
me. Oh, nice.
No?
It was a stock down in general for relationships because yikes, Mitch. Like, come on, keep it together. Don't get caught with your pants down.
Not only that, but like Anna
Nice,
doesn't
nice.
get it. She just doesn't get it. She's like, oh my God, why can't you talk to me? Why can't you call me? It's like, I am a secret assassin. You know this. Like, are you serious? Donatella, they're doing the same thing. They can vibe over that. Like, sorry, honey, I have to be off on like a 6-month adventure. She's like, oh, good, have fun. We'll have tons of amazing Italian sex when you come back.
Agreed. Yeah, maybe it's just not a great fit. Additionally, maybe Mitch knows this because he doesn't seem to have a good plan with Anna for when shit goes bad. His thing is like, oh no, now I got to send an encrypted email to a friend to say you have to put her in your house because I know about this shady shit that happened back in the day, as opposed to having a plan for Anna like, hey, if I don't call you in 24 hours, go to XYZ place. I own 8 houses in the area that you can go to that no one knows about. So, yeah, maybe he wanted her to die. Maybe. Keith, what do you have for stock down?
Yeah, I had one stock down, but it was tied into what Jimmy's stock up was. Stock down thinking about retirement. If this book has taught us anything, the easiest way to get a bullet in your head is starting to think about retirement. Mitch starts thinking about it, right? 2 bullets to the chest. Then the Hoffmans, they're like, oh, that was the last big job. We're going to, end it here. Sniped, right? Sniped in the head, dead. Then we got the frog, or the frog's friend at least, the muscle. He's like, I think I'm about to hang it up. I think, I'm done in the game. 100 bullets riddled through his body in the street. Then we have Stansfield. He's thinking about handing the reins to Kennedy. Gets cancer. He's dead. Yeah, he gets killed. I mean, don't do it, boys. Don't put money in your 401k. Stop thinking about retirement. Just keep grinding. That's what the BBC does. That's what we do. Just grind, boys.
We're always on the same page because I had it too. Retirement, stock down. You know,
There we go.
everyone in this book that wants to retire, it doesn't work out well for them. You forgot Pete, aka the Professor Cameron, who's like, oh, I'm going to get this new big amount of money and I'll retire. Nope, you're retiring 6 feet underground. It's as simple as that. Never retire. Stansfield, the second he wants to do it, boom, cancer's coming up on you. He's like, I knew it. You know, there's no retirement. Haha, you spent your whole life working so that you can then retire. You're going to retire dead. So don't even think about it. There's actually a lot of studies out there that show that once people retire, they actually lose their life expectancy by like 10 years. Yeah, I don't know. There's a science behind it as well. Maybe you can write about it on the Buddy Book Club blog or something because I don't have the statistics in front of me, but it's dangerous for you if you don't have something to do. So play pickleball.
There's also a strange coincidence in the NFL between thinking about retirement and then being traded to the Jets, which goes in hand with just the worst possible thing to happen to someone.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's now happened twice. So, yeah, don't think about retirement. I agree.
From a guy that loves Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, Jimmy, right?
Well, I'm just saying, if they never thought about retirement, then, you know, this whole
That's
this
true.
whole timeline might have been
They
different.
basically died, is what you're saying. So, same difference.
My stock down I have outside of retirement is traditional book clubs. So our friend Anna here, she's in a book club and despises it. Why does she despise it? Same boring old stories, you know, these romance novels, one after another, she says. And on top of that, there's a strict timeline. Oh, I got to finish this book. I can't enjoy it. I'm going to take away from my day to read this book so I can sit in a room and gab about the same boring topics. That's not what we do here. We're non-traditional book club, right?
Preach it.
We stock up Saddam Hussein on book clubs like this, all right? Where is a book club out there where people are praising Saddam? And that's exactly what you did, Jimmy. You praised Saddam. You're gonna
The world needs better villain.
He also praised Hitler, I'm pretty sure.
Whoa.
I think he quoted that too.
That's no, you don't edit it to make it that way.
Unfortunately, Jimmy's audio cut off. I don't know what happened after this, guys. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
So yeah, just, you know, people out there that are in their boring book club, you know, leave it behind. You don't need Wine Wednesday talking about Michelle Obama's biography, which is why we started this podcast to begin with.
Coming. I had that as my love. Back on path. We're back on together here, in sync here.
After Hitch.
Bye, if you will. But I said, yeah, Anna, if you're listening, jump into the Buddy Book Club. Water's warm. We're ready for you. Come join our book club.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the rivers of Washington, D.C. in the middle of the summer. Anna's not falling off the water ski, but when she gracefully goes into the water,
right.
that's the feeling we give you out here on the Buddy Book Club.
Well, anytime I think of Anna, I think of who I casted for her, Anna de Armas. So when Jimmy was like, why would you marry her? I'm like, what are you, an idiot? Like, what? Why would you marry Anna de Armas? Also, Anna de Armas, join our book club, literally, because that'd be the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that'd be great. And not creepy at all after all of the things you've said.
No, not at all.
Jimmy, did you have other stock downs?
I have one more. It's in honor of the final season of Secession. I have the CIA secession plan, which is apparently just Stansfield apparently knows all the secrets. I don't know if it's in his head. I don't think it's written down anywhere because he seems like a careful guy. But he's basically like, oh, I'll just tell everything to Dr. Kennedy. That's the plan. I don't know what the hell is going on with the CIA where one man basically knows everything. If we kill him, do all the secrets just go with him? He dies of cancer a little bit early. Sorry. Whoops, we didn't have the transition plan. I'm not seeing where this is working out very well, especially because the third option seems like the only option 95% of the time.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me also why these politicians, because a lot of his points is no one will come at us because I have all this dirt on all these politicians and whatnot. So why wouldn't the politicians just go straight for him? You know, why are they concerned with Mitch Rapp? If you can just walk into Stansfield House as long as you have a dog that you just met at your side, then it seems like that would be the easiest way to do it. With all the murders they're saying that are happening in D.C., you know, CIA director dies. Oh, well, there you go. All the secrets go with him. It's like Tower of Babel. Batman, when he had all the dossiers on all the other superheroes, all their weaknesses, and that got loose. Ra's al Ghul took that shit over. You know, we don't want that kind of thing happening here. So, yeah, sometimes you just gotta nerd out a little bit. One quick one that I had was Anna's talking about Mitch, about how he reads a book a week. And she was really, you know, oh, Mitch reads a book a week. And that's a big thing with like book talk. All the people that we follow, if you look at their information, It's like, I'm on book 47 of 550 that I plan to read this year. And it's just a weird barometer, I feel like. It's such a hardo move. Oh, how literate are you? I read 400 books. Mitch Rapp reads a book a week. People out there, don't hold yourself to how many books you're reading. Don't put a number on it. Like, that just makes you not want to read maybe longer, more interesting books, or just like fun books that you want to read. If you want to be someone that's sitting out there saying, I wrote 500 books or whatever, go to the children's section of the library, sit down for a couple hours, read 30 books, and move on with your life. Tell everyone you read 30 books that day. But hop on Pop, get the fuck out of here. No one cares about how many books you read. I'm on book 12 this year, by the way. Just kidding.
I completely agree, but I also like saying I'm well read. It's just a great phrase.
I like well hung better, but, to each their own.
I don't know that phrase. I've never heard of that one.
I was going to jump into a quick favorite scene here. Did anyone have a particular favorite scene in third option? I feel like Transfer of Power was easier for this, but, I just want to know if there's a section of the book that was like captivating for you.
I personally loved Doozer as a character. Like, this dude is just pure animal. And he's like the type of assassin you're just like, I just want bloodshed. Let's bring in Doozer. And that scene in DC where he's just like, okay, we need to take this guy out quietly. And he's just like, let's just have a mass murder on the streets. Oh my God. It was like a scene from Heat where they're just semi-automatics. They're just shooting like everyone after this entire bloodshed scene and they're on the run. He's just like, no, we need to kill the next guy. Like, we need to kill the frog right now. We need to do it right now. Cameron, granted he's a little new. He calms him down. But I would have just taken this book an entirely different direction where it's just Doozer just going on a tear, killing everyone.
Yeah, Doozer has no refractory period. After he kills one person, he doesn't, drink an orange juice and maybe a cold shower. He's right on to the next guy.
Is that what you're supposed to do? Drink an orange juice and take a cold shower?
You need to get your blood sugar back up.
I was honestly a little disappointed we didn't have more of a Doozer versus Mitch Rapp showdown. It felt a little quick. It was kind of like Keith's boy Darth Maul. Like, he's so awesome of a character, has 2 words, and then he dies. It's like, no, give me some more. Give me some more of that.
Yeah, I did enjoy some Duel of the Fates, but I do understand. And I couldn't agree more about the Doozer factor. I was waiting for kind of an epic showdown with Mitch where Mitch gets a little hurt, maybe a little knife fight, stabbed in the leg, pulls it out to stab him or something. Instead, it's more of a No Country for Old Men situation where he just goes in there and kills him. It's over.
I hate the long, drawn-out action scenes. Give me a bolt to the head every time. And Mitch is a class above Boozer or Doozer, whatever the fuck his name is. Don't ever bring him in the same sentence as Mitch. Don't you ever dare do that again. How dare you?
Yeah, for my scene, I think the intro, the opening was pretty good. When it's in Germany, you're finding your way back into Mitch. Oh, okay, he's doing a little recon, and then all of a sudden he's in the mansion trying to figure out his way out. How is he going to cover this thing up? There's blood everywhere, and it's Mitch at his best when he's working on the fly. So I loved that aspect of okay, now I'm feeling Mitch out again. Now I get it. This is what I'm going to have for the rest of this novel. But so I like that part. Keith, what about yourself?
You guys nailed it already. The whole book played out like a movie. It was kind of like The Bourne Identity for the first half, which I love. And then it was the second half was the typical Mitch Rapp, just figuring things out and then going and getting shit done, not waiting for everyone else. He's like, nah, I'm just going to do this shit myself. I like the rushing the house where he killed Doozer.
I like that. I just thought I could add a better ending necessarily. And any time for me, and this is going to get into my loves, we're going to jump into love right now. Anytime we have Mitch, the operator, going, not Mitch on the lam or Mitch talking to people, Mitch doing boring political stuff with Stansfield and the president, but Mitch as an operator at the beginning, Mitch operating as a part of a team, which, Mitch is a lone wolf, so that's not really great for him, but he's always the leader. So that part of the house aspect I really enjoyed because it was him setting up the whole plan and then okay, go, take him out. We're going to do all this stuff. And I think Vinnie Flynn does a great job of writing action scenes where you can see them in your mind, which is always something we need because we're not literally literate people. So I appreciated that. Keith, what'd you love about the third option?
Yeah, you already mentioned the book club aspect. I love that a lot. I also thought the book just flies by. It's not one of those books where you're you look down, you're like, how many more hours of this? You look down, you're like, holy shit, I only have an hour left. Like, oh, this book must have been like a 5-hour book. It's like, nope, it was like 11 or 12. It plays like a movie in your head. It paced really well. I just love all those aspects. Once again, Vinny crushes it.
Jimmy?
So I love the prelude. Give me a good prelude,
Yes.
and I'm in for the book. And the whole explanation of what the third option is, it was very like Law and Order, where it's like certain crimes are particularly heinous, and like this is, the Special Victims Unit. I read that prelude or listened to it, and then I heard in my head like the bum bum, and then they bring you into Germany, and I was all in at that point.
Wait, one second. You get amped up about like there's certain crimes where people get raped and molested.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you're in. like that. Okay.
Christ.
First of all, like Law and Order is tried and true. That show is so many spin-offs, been going on forever. People love it. Like, you don't have that intro, guaranteed that show's off the air in a year.
I'm just saying I don't get all jazzed up about the whole,
I mean,
sexual assault stuff.
It's the same and it ties in with me for any movie that sets a scene with it, whether it be like Top Gun, when it's, the Navy operates a special fighting school. It's like, okay, cool. And then the Top Gun music comes in, or any historical drama or something like that, where it's like, it's 1392. 10 million people died from the bubonic plague, and it's like, oh shit, this is gonna be fucked up. I love all that stuff, or even a long-winded Lord of the Rings intro. So I'm with you with a good prelude. Keith, what else you have for love?
I liked, and this I think would also make the movie great, is the people helping people, the assassins helping assassins.
It is a beautiful thing.
Like the frog. Yeah, the frog. I know Donatello, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle there, was eventually going to help Mitch too. I wish we kind of saw that in this book. I just like when there's like that interaction between like the world's best killers, and they're all helping each other out. So appreciated that.
I was hoping for a little bit more, like you said, with Donatella. Maybe she was going back to hang out with Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Raphael, but Splinter.
Now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Splinter,
There we go.
April. I forget what the guy with the hockey mask name was. It'll come to me. Jimmy, what else do you have for love?
Cliches. I don't want to insult Keith here, but this book is chock full of cliches, but a good cliche book or movie I'm in for. And like this one just hits every single note perfectly. It's just like, okay, here's a super as top of the game assassin that like everyone else is inferior to him, and he's gonna have one last job. But guess what? He thinks that they turned on him. Oh my God, we've seen that in everything else. Doesn't matter. I'm in for it again. Feed it to me. Oh, what? His girlfriend was kidnapped? Okay, I'm going to go on a rampage because I love her so much. I'm going to kill everyone. Like, yes, get it to me again. And then you have like the secret badass of the Senator Clark, who I don't think we've talked too much about.
We haven't.
Basically like if you ever watch Inspector Gadget and you only see like that evil
the
dude's
claw?
like hands or whatever. Yeah,
What's his
that's
name?
basically that guy. He's just like, you know what? Touche, I'm gonna get you in the next round. Don't worry, like I'm coming back.
That's a great call.
Like he is not phased at all. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna spin this and we'll get you round 2. That dude was so calm, cool, and collective. He honestly might be my second favorite character.
And kind of like we talked about in Hitch, is that people that might have issues with this book in that it's formulaic, there's no problem with a formula as long as it's done right. I mean, that's why people follow recipes, because they're delicious. So the recipe for a Vinnie Flynn book is pretty straightforward. It's like, why John Grisham made 500 books that are all similar. It's just that he's able to hit the notes so well with Mitch that we're just happy to be there, even though we know kind of what the outcome is going to be. And I thought that the Inspector Gadget thing was spot on.
Yeah, John Wick, Taken. I mean, those aren't really the most creative books, but there's like the best. Those are the kind of movies that they're awesome. So yeah, I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, my other love was just kind of reiterating what Keith said about the pace. I also listened to this on audiobook, and I was doing some yard work at the time. I did so much friggin' yard work because I didn't even know what was happening. I was just listening along with Mitch. The thing moves so fast. There's really no dull down points. I mean, there are comparatively to like Transfer of Power, which I think is just a better book. But at the same time, it's just such a great way to spend your time. And this is why it's really just a great beach read. Simple as that. Let's move on to hate. Keith, what did you hate about the third option? It's Vinnie Flynn's birthday in a week, so don't be too harsh.
I didn't love that there wasn't like a true ending. Obviously, I think that's what made Transfer of Power so good, is that really wrap things up nicely and you still wanted to come back. Obviously, I'm ready to pick up the next one. I'd jump into the next one in a second. But I do like when each book has some sort of closure a la Harry Potter. There's no like, all right, come back to the next one and figure out.
Yeah.
It's okay to have a bad guy that, is still left over, but I'd like a little bit more closure there for myself.
It was like when I was watching Saturday morning cartoons, which are always 30 minutes. There's going to be a little story and then an ending. And at the end of that, it'd say, to be continued. And I was like, what the
worst.
fuck? I got to wait till next Saturday to figure out what Spider-Man does? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm talking to Warner Brothers. I don't appreciate it. So I'm 100% with you. It was my only hate here was the ending itself. I needed a little something more, or at least give us that amazing fight at the end at the house or something like that, where Mitch is now like beat up and he's then going to have to continue on, this thing, as opposed to kind of like what Jimmy said with the Inspector Gadget ending, where they're not even any closer to finding out who's behind this whole thing. And it seems like all of their leads have dried up. Yes, I would 100% still read the next one because I do want to know, hey, maybe that was Vinny's point. But also he just probably wanted the accolades of writing 4 books in 4 years and didn't want to just combine them into one book. So, hey, you know what? Good for you. Good for you. Take it to book talk. Jimmy, what'd you ever hate?
I hate to go back to this but Anna really. The first book, they gave her a lot to do. It reminded me a little bit of Speed, where you had Sandra Bullock and Keanu, and basically the love story where it's like cop and then person that's just doing their job, and I think it's Keanu's like, I've heard relationships based on intense experiences never work out, and she's just like, well, we'll have to make this one on sex. Like, I was into that relationship, and that was what Anna really and Mitch had in the first book, and I feel like the second they just turns her into a damsel in distress, and I didn't care for it. Give her a little bit more agency. Come on, Vince.
I'm with you, 100% with you. I thought that the first book kind of set her up for some good level of badassery, that this book was her just saying, oh, I'm so worried about Mitch. I'm so worried about Mitch. Like, where's Mitch? I'm so worried about him. She doesn't even sniff out the fact that these guys are Fugazi, like, who just took her. I don't appreciate that. I was hoping that there'd be something where she had to fight someone off, or she realized that, something was going on and was able to escape the house herself. And Mitch came in there, cleared it out, was like, whoa, where's Anna? And she's like, I'm over here, like with a pistol to the last guy's head or something. Just give her something. Throw her a bone.
Last hate was just when they go to pick up the Hoffmans, right, and surveying them, and they basically see them get assassinated, and they're like, oh man, that sucks. They just watch them get assassinated, then they watch them take the bodies, and they don't follow them or do anything. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what are they doing? Like, the whole team with Scott Coleman and all those guys?
Yeah.
They're like Navy SEALs. And to quote Mark Wahlberg, if Mitch were there, it's not going down like that. You know what I mean? Mitch is rolling in there, and he's making shit happen. He's knocking those people out, shooting people up. It's not going down like that if Mitchie Rapp's there. So I don't know what Coleman and the fucking Navy SEALs were doing, just like sitting there and then not getting any intel. They're like, I think that might have been the guy I saw there. It's like, you didn't have cameras. You're not like, what are you even doing?
Yeah.
What's the point of you being there?
You said
clean it up.
They said there's only one escape route or whatever the case was. So you don't have someone on the escape route, like, able to follow them. And also, if the situation's so sketchy, why isn't the CIA putting more assets in, like these covert helicopters?
The reason they didn't do that is because it was like an unsanctioned thing. No one else supposed to know about it, so they can't bring in a bunch of resources. But like, they're still Navy SEAls, right?
Yeah.
I thought they were like, oh, they sniped him and then they like drove off. They were like, they sniped him and then they went and cleaned all the bodies and cleaned that. I was like, wait, what? So what were you guys doing this whole time? I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on.
Also, aren't they like SEAL Team 6, which, is there only one SEAL team? I've never heard of any SEAL team but SEAL Team 6.
There's at least 5 others, I would assume.
That's what I thought too, but like, I don't know. I feel like you're either in number 6 or you're just like, wow,
Well, it's like
I'm
MI6,
terrible at my
right?
job.
Is there MI5s and MI4?
MI5 is that's the British one, isn't it?
But that's the British.
Well, MI6 is the one. Wait, what's
I thought
MI5?
isn't MI6 like fake?
Yeah, I think
Oh, is MI5 real?
Yeah.
MI5 versus MI6. MI6 are our spies, while MI5 is there to catch their spies. Oh, there are 2 services. All right, never mind. So it's like MI5 is like counterintelligence, essentially, and MI6 is intelligence.
We cast the movie for Transfer of Power, and you got mad at me, I guess, for picking Mel Gibson, who would be perfect in his prime at... I'm not saying Mel Gibson now, but...
Kid, we have movie producers calling us all the time. We can't be saying Mel Gibson. We need to keep our reputation up.
What about like Chat GDP and all this fake face stuff? Like, they could definitely just have Mel Gibson do it, but put in a Lethal Weapon Mel Gibson with his hair and all that stuff. I'm standing my ground. Jimmy, did you have someone you like to cast in this wonderful film that's going to come out? The third option.
So for Mitch, I had either Viggo Mortensen or Ethan Hawke. I feel like...
Look at this guy picking a couple 50-year-olds. Wow, Keith, you got anything to say about that?
Ethan Hawke can definitely play like a 40-year-old. He's got that versatile. I mean, maybe Viggo's a little old, but I feel like neither of them have had the opportunity to be that like spy assassin. I mean, the problem is everyone's kind of picked over at this point.
You had me at Viggo. I fucking love Viggo. Everything about Viggo makes me happy. So I'm 100% in.
Exactly, and he can get you kind of that like, I'm just gonna murder everyone type of like vibe that he needs to.
What was that movie you did? The Russian where he was like a badass? History of Violence or something like that?
Yeah.
Badass name for a movie too. If Vince thought of that one, this would probably already be a movie.
Yeah, that third option's not going to sell. We're definitely going to have to change that when the movie comes out.
Which I didn't realize, but when I was doing a little background on him, he apparently was a co-writer of the 5th season of 24, which makes a lot of sense because...
Was that a good season?
No, but I mean, granted, it went off the rails in the 5th season, but... And if I remember correctly, Saddam Hussein was the villain. No, I'm just kidding. Jack Bauer basically is a different version of Mitch Rapp, so it works perfectly.
Well, I had initially Tom Hardy. I'll stick with him, but I also would now that I've seen Jake Gyllenhaal bulk up, I think Jake Gyllenhaal could also play it. Because he can play a military cop guy, and he looks like a psychopath when he wants to be, so I love that.
Let me propose Hardy as a Doozer.
Oh, we love... I'm a big fan. Like a juiced out Hardy.
Yeah. He would be a much bigger role if that were the case.
Oh, we're expanding the role for sure.
I also, with Ethan Hawke, made me think of, I have a buddy who gets compared to like all these good looking actors and things like that. And his mom. Here we go. That was finally some self-awareness from you, D-Man. Good for you. And then his mom, seeing that, was like, oh, you kind of look like Ethan Hawke. And I've held on to that for 10 years now, so that's very nice. I don't look anything like him, by the way.
Are you saying she said you look like Ethan Hawke?
Oh yeah, and I could just tell she was like, you look like, and she just threw out a name, and I was like, what? No, I don't at all. But I've literally internalized that. I've been like, I do look like that guy now, so that's pretty much me.
Yeah.
And I'm Mitch Rapp is what I'm saying. Anyways, Stansfield, I'm keeping my guy Morgan Freeman. D-Man, you had Lance Riddick.
Yeah.
So I don't
know if
you want to keep him on there. Yeah.
Of course I do.
All right.
What they did it with General what's his name in the Star Wars movies?
Akbar?
No. the bad guy. What's the bad general guy's name who created the Death Star?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Jimmy, you got anyone for Stansfield?
I think you just go heavy on he's already played a great dying of cancer guy, and you go with Sylvester Stallone. You know, when it's not broke, don't fix it.
When has he played the great dying cancer guy?
Is that in Creed or something?
That's that's Creed.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Okay. Yeah, he won like a Academy Award for that. He just run it back.
That was a career achievement award. Come on. All right, Anna Riley, Anna de Armas. I had D-Man had Kate Mara.
Yeah, I'm cool with either really. Who's ever willing to take the job?
I think I'm going Margot Robbie. Just go classic blonde.
Ooh.
I don't like the Anna role just because she's just not how the character's portrayed at all. If you want to give Donatella to Anna de Armas, I'm 100% in on that one.
Yeah, that actually checks out.
Stern
to
but
me.
fair.
Yeah. For this book?
Well, my backup was that the girl from the Swedish Girl. Shit.
IKEA?
From your robot movie there, Jimmy.
Oh, Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, that was my backup. That would be her too.
What's the robot movie?
That's a good one too. Ex Machina.
Oh, yeah. Great movie. Keith might not like it. It insists upon itself.
That's why I casted her, because I like that movie. What? Look at this attack I'm getting here. Just because the guy doesn't like Hitch, doesn't like any comedy. I think we might have to run Austin Powers as one of our next ones, just to bring the team back together. It's the only way.
Yeah,
if you say you don't like Austin Powers, the podcast's over. That's
well,
what
of course.
matter.
Austin Powers is my second favorite comedy of all time.
I don't know if I trust you, though. That's the thing. I don't know. I've lost hope.
I'd be like, second favorite comedy, 2 stars.
Well, that begs the question, what's your favorite comedy?
Dumb and Dumber.
Wow. Okay, 1, 2.
Fair.
Yeah. Jimmy, do you have anyone else do you want to cast for this one?
I got to give a shout out to my boy, and this is a great comeback role for him. I'm going to cast Kevin Spacey as Senator Clark. No, he's made for it.
Is he going to have the accent?
Is he Southern in the book? I don't. He actually might be.
Yeah, he is.
He is
I mean, that's perfect. You just I got another plug and play. It's not broke, don't fix it. I think the Academy is ready to welcome back with open arms. I truly do. So this is like the perfect role for him.
Jimmy said he's gonna write blogs for the Buddy Book Club, and his first one was like, "Why Kevin Spacey deserves another chance." And I was like, "Hard pass."
No, that's That's not why he deserves another chance. It's why he's the greatest method actor of all time.
Okay, all right. If it's a funny angle, that's fair.
That's not an angle.
His second one was why MJ really didn't touch those kids or something like that, right?
You can edit that one out because that's definitely not mine. But I'm saying, like, here, I'm just gonna give you a little preview. I'm just saying, like, look. Hollywood loves people that play villain roles until it turns out they're an actual villain in real life. That's called method acting. I don't know why people don't get it.
So
like,
wait, diddling
seriously.
those kids was like part of a role he was in?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm like. Look, like when you go to the darkness for a role, you're living in the darkness. Let's take who's the guy from The Dark Knight? Heath Ledger. He took it too far, but people loved him for it. Like, oh my God, he's so great. You know, it literally got a little dark. Kevin Spacey took it too far, but no one's praising him.
So why have they not cast O.J. Simpson again? Although he wasn't a bad guy.
He's doing a different role. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're
See,
right.
now you're getting it.
By A plus B equals C, commutative property, are you saying that all people that play bad guys are actually really
The best
bad
ones
people
are.
in real life?
Who's
okay, fair
well
enough.
thought of as the greatest method actor of all time? Like, he has nothing on...
DDL.
Yes, he has nothing on Kevin Spacey.
I don't know if he went bad after There Will Be Blood, though. We'd have to find out.
Probably did.
We'd have to see if he's bashing people's heads in with bowling balls.
He might even be better because we don't know about it. Like, he probably has quite the Trail of Tears behind him.
And he's Irish, so like we don't get Irish news over here. So, any other serial killers you want to cast, or rapists, or whatever?
That's enough redemption stories for this one.
Kevin Spacey could play the professor too with that line of thinking. Also, we never talked about it, but he alluded to it at the beginning with his call sign being the professor, and they're wondering, where is he? He could be at any of these places. It's like Georgetown University's right there. No, I don't think so. I think it's the State Department. It's like his nickname is the professor. Check out Georgetown. Keith, would you recommend the third option?
Yeah, I would. I mean, if you like the previous one, it's probably not as good, but it's right in line. It's easy to read. I mean, again, I could burn through this whole series right now. I'm ready to go. So I definitely recommend it.
No, 100%. Give me as much Mitch Rapp as you can.
Good man. Yeah. Good answer, Jimmy. He's allowed back on the pod anytime he wants. I don't care what he says about Saddam Hussein. He can come back here anytime. Kevin Spacey, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Spacey. Yeah. I think that obviously, if you're new to the Mitch Rapp series, read Transfer of Power. It's a powerhouse. It's phenomenal. This is a good follow-up, but it really gets you wanting more. So it's totally fine. I wouldn't say I loved it. Yeah.
It's like morphine.
I've only read these two of the Mitch Rapp series. I actually think I've read the third one, but I forget it completely. So I can't comment as it relates to the other ones. There are websites that have hierarchies out there. I think if you've read Transfer of Power and you're about to jump on an airplane or hit a beach or whatever the case is, heck yeah, pick this one up. Get back into Mitch. I'm excited to read the next one. End of the day. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got to do it in the summer. I mean, we're burning through books this year, so we'll definitely come back
and Jimmy,
to it this year.
we hope to have you back for that one.
I would always be glad to be on the program again.
Well, Jimmy might be canceled by then. The Kevin Spacey article that he posted on Buddy Book.
I trust your editing skills, Keith.
We'll see if we get any hate mail about Kevin Spacey, and we'll take it from there. But that was the third option. Jimmy, thanks for stopping by. Keith, as always, great chatting with you. And look, what's the next one? What are we doing next?
We're bringing Tucker back. We're doing Daisy Jones and the Six, the TV series, for the next pod. And then next book is going to be Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman.
Oh.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for bringing the heat. We appreciate it. Keith, as always, love to hear you. And we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye now.